because I'm downstairs.
We beat the Chiefs. It happened. Spotty. It happened.
Man, what is even going on? Did the Broncos play a complete quarter, man?
Four fucking quarters. No touchdowns. We held the Chiefs to 0 touchdowns.
Dude, they said the Chiefs averaged 27 points here in Denver.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know what the national media is going to say. I know what they're Patrick Mahomes was sick. He had the flu. Travis Kelce's whatever girlfriend wasn't in attendance. He didn't have a good game. Mahomes' hand was all beat up. I don't give it. Our defensive line was playing okay. I'm not going to give him 100%. There was some interior that he had years to throw on some plays, but our defense was getting pressure. We were playing well. We had 4 turnovers?
5, I think. 5 turnovers.
5 turnovers? Bro.
Look, I'm telling you, I go with the pressure thing again, right? The secondary was playing great. Nate McMillan, my guy that picked over Travis Kelce, bro. Like, what?
Bro, absolutely. Yo, Andrew, Rihanna, thank you for showing up. I can hear it now. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Mahomes had the flu. Well, Buttercup, do not underestimate any given Sunday. Win's a win. So happy. 24-9. Let's go, Broncos. I love it, Rihanna. Thank you so much.
100%. This streak started even before Pat Mahomes was his quarterback, okay?
Yes.
So I don't care. A win's a win's a win's a win, okay?
I'm taking it every which way. Like, legitimately, dude, I'm like, I don't even know what to feel like. So here's the thing, Spotty, I think I told you. I put money on this game before this game started. I didn't want to tell a lot of people. I let it out at halftime. I may have had a drink or two. I let it out at halftime. But I put money on it because I was like, just like the Broncos, to break a streak in a season that looks like it's going nowhere. But we're 2 wins in a row. Now, you know the conversation here at Orange Weekly. You know what the conversation is going to be. Is this the start? We got a bye week going into the Bills. Is this the start?
The crazy thing about it is we're probably just a couple of plays away from, this being 5-3 instead of
absolutely
5, man. And okay, the first conversation is going to definitely be about Tuesday, right? Here the Broncos are supposed to be sellers. We've got one of the hardest strength of schedule for the rest of the year, but this is a momentum kind of game.
Yo, did you see how hard, so Spotty, me and you have talked about it in depth on the pregame podcast a couple weeks ago. What are we playing for? Is our team playing for, are they playing hard for each other? This game, they were. We got a little bit of momentum back. They got the momentum at the beginning of the second half, and we're worried, right? We're kind of like, oh man, here's the momentum. They got the blocked field goal. They were driving down the field. We get the turnover, or we held them, and they punted over. And all of a sudden, we get momentum. And look who's playing. Our defensive line is fucking getting to the quarterback. Our defensive backs are hitting hard. People are coming in hot. Our offense is killing it.
Where was this team? You know how many times did they bring up the Dolphins? They're like, man, I can't believe Kansas City's losing to a team that lost 50 points to the Dolphins. They said that 2-3 times in this game. Where was this defense at?
We're here now. I don't know. Did it take? So here's another conversation. Did it take VJ this long to figure it out? Did it take our offense this long or defense this long to figure out how the defense is supposed to run?
Justin Simmons, Baron Browning,
McMillan. Who? If you were to talk about McMillan at any point before this game,
I undrafted guy. Look, everybody makes fun of me all the time. Spotty tends to be the stat guy. I know where everybody. I have zero information about this guy.
I had to look him up. I legitimately I had to look him up. I had no clue who this guy was, and he made in the first half. He made 2 of the biggest plays in the first half on the defense. He had that huge interception, and then he had that huge pass breakup on a 3rd and medium, and then that made him punt. He had 2 of the great bro. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Is it we're finally clicking, or is it just that the Kansas City Chiefs were playing that bad?
The I'm telling you, and here's another last thing. This is a quick thing to think about. The Broncos defense is still not fully healthy. K1 may be one of the better slot corners in the league.
Absolutely.
Like, we're talking about, this man was making picks with a cast on his arm last year, man. Like, so there still might be another level to this team that, with the bye and the Bills haven't been playing fantastic. I know I'm jumping. I am reaching, Jared. But I know. What? There might be a chance. An upset in that game may flip this whole entire season on its head.
I don't even know how to feel. Like, obviously, we're riding on a high right now. And maybe, give us a week or 2 weeks, right? We got a bye week. Give us 2 weeks, kind of look at stats and figure out where we're at and what we want to do. But I'm we have momentum as a team. Does the bye week kill the momentum? Like, we'll talk about all this on Tuesday, but like, I am just, and I will say there was a couple times Kansas City did, like, getting Hardman from the Jets back and then fumbling that punt was huge. That was the change. That was the momentum changer, really.
I thought that was, if they were to get the ball on that drive, that if they go down with any kind of score, the Broncos are in trouble. And to get that ball back on me, it's immediately, honestly, I'm sitting here, my poor dog, she's sitting here screaming. She's thinking I'm yelling at her over here. And I'm just like, I don't know what I should be feeling right now. I still don't. Jared, like what? You know what? I poured this already, y'all. I'm just saying, celebration, y'all.
Let's go.
Oh, some moonshine, okay? Yeah, apple pie moonshine, dude. Just been sitting on the top of my fridge. Decided to pull it out for this one. It was a fall kind of drink.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm with Neil here. I'm going to get to all your comments, but Neil, 2-win high. We're on a two in a row win high again, and then we beat the Chiefs, the one-loss Chiefs.
Yes.
Which means any given Sunday, he's right, any given Sunday, we could do this. Like, we have the team. We have the team. We knew it at the beginning of the season, Spotty. We knew it. But where was this team in the first 6 games?
I, again, want to say that the Broncos, the defense is putting together full games. So I'd say the last 3 games-ish, the Broncos have put together a full game. The Broncos offense has not put together a full game. Like, what happens when they put together? I think they haven't put a full game together since the Bears. What happens when we get this kind of performance from the defense, and then the offense decides to score touchdowns every time they go to the red zone? You're not going to get some crazy blocks on field goals. Like, it's not, man. I don't know. I'm trying not to get in my head of myself, man. I guess it's one win, but like, you could sneak into the playoffs with above average offensive play and elite defensive play. We already know that.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm going to hit your, let's see. Allison, thanks for joining us. It's about time. Breaking the streak, baby. Let's go. Breaking the streak. Sean, a simplifying defensive call made a world defense. I'd have to look at the tape. I don't know how much simplified we did. I know that there was a lot of big plays from big people like McMillan. Again, we talked about him. No idea where he came from. Pastor Tan coming up with big plays like he normally does. There was a couple, I will say, like, we're not perfect and we're not in a state that we could say like everything was great. There was times that Pat Mahomes had 1.5 years to throw the ball. He read a book, ate a sandwich, and still got the ball off. There was one play he turned around completely, had his back to the defense, and still found someone open. Like, he's still making Pat Mahomes plays. So it's not like, again, and we'll go to it, right? The flu thing, sure, but he's still making Pat Mahomes plays, which means we played a full game.
How many quarterbacks are you going to play that can do what Pat Mahomes did? To spin around, do 360, take his head away from downfield, and still make the play. I am telling you, in any other game, that quarterback throws an interception or they take a sack. And we don't have to play Pat Mahomes again this year. We do not have to play Pat Mahomes again this year.
That's it. We're 1-1. We got it.
Hey, look, how many the AFC teams, we already know this. As an AFC West team, Pat Mahomes has lost now his 4th game ever as the starting quarterback is the Kansas City Chiefs. You take 1-1. You take 1-1, and I damn near make the argument that the Broncos had the possibility of winning the last one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And again, our defense stepped up in that game too. If it wasn't for our offense being stagnant in that game and the short week, which again, I'll say it and I'll say it again. We scored in the second half. We were driving during the second half. We were getting plays. I actually, give me a second, but I'll pull up the numbers. We were running the ball. Javonte Williams, absolutely crazy. Jaleel McLaughlin.
Oh, dude.
Killing it.
Dude, yo, I love Big G. He sees the hole and he runs with reckless abandon. He just like that. He's just every ounce of speed in the little body of his. I say little, and we're probably the same freaking size, but every ounce of him just was like, I'm taking this, and damn, what happens, right?
Okay, here's the stats. We ran the ball 40 times. Now I get it. At the end, we probably ran like 5 or 6, like just because we were trying to run out the clock. Right. I'll give him that. We only threw the ball 19 times. He was 12. Russell Wilson was 12 for 19.
Well, 114, 112?
119. No, 114. 114. You're right. 114.
You know what's crazy about that kind of stat? As is this kind of NFL, if you would have told me that that Wilson went for 114 yards, I would have told you that would have been the game the Broncos lost. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. 12 for 19 for 114. 3 touchdowns though. All of our touchdowns were over the air, in the air. Now, granted, bubble screen.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
I said it beforehand. We need to get him more involved. He's also running with reckless man. He's throwing his shoulder around. He's making cuts like his knee hasn't injured him at all ever. Like he's making some plays.
What did they say about him? That like he runs like he's allergic to the ground. Like
yeah,
that Javonte does not want to go down, and I love that about him. He does not take that first contact and goes down. He wants to take that first contact and he wants to drive those thick thighs through you. Okay.
Yeah. But hey, we say this, right? The offense. You said it. If we were 12 for 19 for 114 yards over the air, we lost this game.
Oh,
if I told you we were 114 in the air, our lead rusher only got 85 yards, less than 100 yards. We don't say we win this game.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Our defense, the turnovers, 5 turnovers. It's something that we've been complaining about since week 4 against, I think it was week 4 against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Our defense have been awful. We are now back to a 4. Like we're all the whole team's playing together.
Oh, like that definitely looks like more of a middle of the pack defense over the last couple of weeks, opposed to are we still ranked dead last in the league in a couple?
Oh yeah,
this will change.
Yeah. This will change. Yeah, I think we'll be a little bit closer to middle of the pack after this week. But yeah, we were dead. I think we were 31st. I think we were 31st in pass and like maybe like 30th in run defense. Like I don't know. Let's see if Pro Football Focus is updated. Let's see. I'll see what they probably have an update after this game. Let's see. Nope, they haven't. Let me see what the game preview says.
You know what? And sometimes you get hokey turnovers, like a bounce off a player that gets picked off, or there's really no hokey turnovers in this game. Like McMillan's interception might be one of the cleanest picks
that was beautiful
that I can remember in a long time.
And I don't know if it was him or Locke. There was a play. I think it was to the other tight end, Gray. I think the other tight end. Whoever the other guy was.
Yeah.
There was a play. He went for the ball. He missed it with the one hand. Didn't have the other hand on the hip. Recovered, got him before he got the first down. On like a third down. Yes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like he went for the ball and still made the tackle. Like that is someone who wants to play. That's someone who wants to get that guy and make sure that he gets the. Like I'm telling you, this isn't a defense we've seen in the first. Like where were these guys? Like did they have some sort of come to Jesus moment a couple of weeks ago? Was there some sort of like we need to play for each other? Like
we talked about this last Tuesday as well. We said that the best way to beat the Chiefs is to keep Mahomes off the field. It may because that last drive may have thrown it off, but the Chiefs may have only had the ball twice in all of the second half, maybe 3 times with that last drive. So running the football, running the clock, turnovers and keeping Pat Mahomes on the sidelines is you can't write a better game plan for the Chiefs. You're not going to win in a duel. You're not going to win. Put Mahomes is. I mean, if you would have told me that Mahomes is sacked twice and he had all day to still throw the ball and he didn't carve us up, man, that tells you that secondary was running out there. So whatever zone or man coverage they're running, they keep it up.
Time of possession for the Broncos all game, 33 minutes, 26 minutes for the Chiefs. And I think I can't split it up, but I'm pretty sure the second half was like, I think we had the ball like I'd care to say 80% of the second half, we had the ball.
33 minutes, dude. That is absolutely wild. That is so much time of possession.
Yep, they had it's just crazy too. Like if you look at it, like so we had 5 total plays, they had 57. I think a lot of that came in the first half. They had more total yards than we did. They had 275 total yards. We had 240. We both had 11 drives. They had more yards per play, 4.8 yards per play. They had 213 yards in the air. We had 87 passing. At least from what I think we had 114 or whatever, but
I think they're
153 yards.
The ball was in the air for some of that because we didn't have really any shots. A Cortland Sutton catch that if he hadn't caught it would have been a PI, but he jumped all over that man to pull that. Perfect.
Yeah. Apparently is that you, David? Someone owes you a drink?
Oh, I think this is the other David.
The other David, yeah. So you can finally remember who he owes that drink to. Yeah, good thing we got the turnovers. Yeah, the turnovers, the defensive play. Yeah, I don't want to hear anything about Vance Joseph. That defense just absolutely destroyed this week. And but again, we got to look at like where's the consistency? 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row. We're talking about okay, now we have a defense that's stepping up and playing. Our offense starting to fire on our cylinders. Our team is playing a total game, which is what we've been talking about this whole time. Let's see, is the most pressure we've gotten on Mahomes. I say this, we got a lot of pressure on Mahomes, and we could blame it on the flu, right? It's funny because, we knew it going into the game. He was questionable. The announcers, if you're watching on TV, probably mentioned it every other time he touched the ball.
It was like Taylor Swift was there. You take a shot every time they hear about it, you'd have been drunk.
Yeah. And Ashley saying, no, you, David. Someone owes you a drink. Josh doesn't see David. He can finally owe you a drink. Josh owes you a drink, apparently. All right, so here we go, and we're gonna talk about a lot of this on Tuesday night. But Richie, I appreciate you joining us. Offense wasn't looking amazing, and I'll agree. But we had three touchdowns at the top. There was a couple times that we probably could have scored. Our offense was. If you look at the stat line, we said it. If I told you that our lead rusher had 84 yards and we only threw for 115, like we probably aren't winning this game. So, and a lot of that was in the second half. Our first half, we scored 2 touchdowns, 14. I think it was 14-9 at the half. We had a turnover, which we probably I did the halftime hash at halftime. We probably should kick the field goal. We should have gotten down to kick the field goal, but we had a bad turnover. That got them their extra field goal before the half. It was 14-9 instead of probably 17-6. But why was our offense as lackluster as it looked? With 4 turnovers, how do we only get 24 points?
I'm telling you, though, when you get 5 turnovers in a game, what was our average starting position on the 40, the 45?
Yeah.
So that tells you a whole lot. And so, unfortunately, when you only get 14, Ngawa, John.
Where in the rusters? Look at him. We did it. Where in the rusters? I love it.
I look at it, John, bro. We spent the first 5 minutes not really sure what to say.
I mean, it's hard to know what to say except I'm pouring a shot right now.
Oh, John, you want me to pour another, huh?
He took one.
I'm assuming I missed one.
Oh, I mean, you already know.
Do I need to get one? Do I need to get one real quick?
Yeah. Yes.
You guys talk. I'll be right back.
All right. John. Give us your takeaways, John, because I was just about to say that the offense was stagnant, but you know what? That's a conversation for Tuesday.
Hey, it's okay if it's stagnant if you're scoring touchdowns instead of field goals.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Wow. I thought for sure we were gonna blow it.
Oh. Well, you saw the group messaging. We're the ones that were heavy messaging, and I was trying not to go ham while just sitting here, man, because I'm like, okay, well, it's the same story before, right? Well, how many times have you seen Pat Mahomes, get 5 minutes left and scores 2 touchdowns in the game?
I know. I thought it was going to be that one, like, what was it, 4th? And I don't even know how long his 4th and goal. It was a long 4th and goal, I think. And he threw it out of the guy. He had it. He was open. I can't remember who it was. Moore. I'm trying to think
Sky Moore.
Yeah.
With PJ Locke in coverage.
Yeah. I mean, he was open.
He hit him in the hand.
Yeah.
They started it, man. I thought that was.
I thought too, and when he dropped it, that was 100% a great throw. Absolutely amazing throw. You could not have put it in a better position.
No, man. I'm telling you, 30 out of 32 quarterbacks can't make that play.
Absolutely. And he drops it, and we take it. I don't care. Look, I said it at halftime. I don't care if Kansas City loses the game. We win.
Oh.
A win's a win, baby.
Yeah. I don't know how much it was them losing or our defense just playing well. I mean,
just very well.
You know what? 5 turnovers, you can always say that's them losing. But again, you 100% said, John, we scored touchdowns in this game instead of settling for field goals. But you know what, though? I don't think that we even struggled to score the touchdowns. Like a lot of these games, we were getting a lot of 4th downs, and then like we're going for it a lot. I don't feel like we even went for it at all in this game. Like this wasn't like we need to do this kind of situation.
Yeah. Well, we were up the whole game. I think that helps.
Yeah.
A lot of it
when you're winning, it turns out you don't have to go for it on 4th down.
We were in the lead the entire game, which I think helped our case and helped it worked with our team.
Did anybody else hear that stupid stat? I didn't even realize that we had another stupid streak that we broke last week.
Which one?
The Broncos had 10 straight games where they winning at halftime that they lost.
Oh.
10 straight halftime leads blown until last week.
Wait, what? What? How does that even happen? I don't understand. Isn't it like Bill Belichick's literally never lost the game where he was leading at halftime?
Yeah. No, I think it was Tom Brady. I think it was Brady, not Belichick.
Hey, gents,
still impressive.
We won. Let's go.
Love it.
I couldn't find my Broncos shot glass. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got you.
Go, baby.
It tastes so good. So smooth.
Victory Mondays, baby. A victory Monday after beating the Chiefs, which hasn't happened. And like Alex Smith, I don't understand how he used to dominate us.
No, I think wasn't it Mahomes? Mahomes getting there? That's the last time?
No. 12, 16
This
games.
is the first time we beat the Chiefs since we won the Super Bowl.
When did Mahomes come in the league?
The
2 years after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Dude, he's
but it's over. It doesn't matter. We don't have to talk about it anymore. We don't have to talk about that anymore.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Oh gosh. Okay, Jared, your biggest takeaway of this win.
Our defense isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I'm copping out. It's easy cop out, but I think our defense is finally clicking together. Sorry, I take that back. I mean, I'm taking 2 and they're both cop outs. I'm sorry. The first one is our defense. The second one is we're finally playing together as a team. Yeah. Did you see Russell come off the sideline when we kicked the field goal?
Oh yeah.
And the whole team is high-fiving him. They're enjoying their time together. They're hugging each other. Like the team is playing for each other finally, which is something we haven't seen like literally since Miami. And I think that's something that we need to like look at. Like that's something that the team is playing for each other, and I'm so happy for it. I'm happy that they're doing it.
Yeah. As Ayla would say, it seems like they're gelling, which is
They're-
amazing going into the bye week. Like, what an amazing way to go into the bye week.
I'll make the argument that winning 2 games and beating to ending this kind of streak, it might be the best way to go into a bye week.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that, right? And because you have a tough opponent when you get back.
Oh yeah, huge. Is that a Sunday night game? Monday? It's not Monday, right?
No, I don't.
Just a regular game.
I think it's a regular game.
I just assume we have no more like national games.
Yeah. If the NFL's smart.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know if we do have a national game, but if we're like 500 when that game comes around,
it is a night
game.
It
changes things.
Sunday night game.
Oh, it's a Sunday night in Buffalo.
Yeah.
In Buffalo.
Man, that also has a good chance of being a very cold, very similar game to this one.
So I say that we have back-to-back night games. We have Buffalo at night, and then we have the Vikings at night.
Which they just lost Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
To an Achilles tear.
Achilles, yeah, he's done for the season.
It's Achilles tear. Yeah. So, I know.
David, don't get excited.
I know.
Spotty, don't get excited.
Yeah. Hey, our hometown Canadian's going to try to get to that Buffalo game.
Honestly,
Richie's going to try to get that Buffalo game.
Nice.
Even like a close game against the Buffalo and then coming out against the Vikings. What's the next 5 games, Jared? So it's Buffalo, Vikings,
Browns, Texans, Chargers. And then so Browns winnable. They got a great defense. So one thing we got to worry about there is defensive line. Texans very winnable.
Yeah, they lost to the Panthers today.
Yeah, Chargers, which are like it depends on which Chargers you get. And then
the Chargers, no matter how they're playing in the season.
And then our last 4 is tough: Lions, Patriots, Chargers again, then Raiders.
So Super Bowl, right? We're going to the Super Bowl. Is that?
And then it's playoffs, right? And then
playoffs.
Man, I'm just saying, okay, a surprise win against Buffalo coming because it's hard to play a team coming off a bye week.
It is.
It's really hard, no matter because was Buffalo on bye this week?
No, they let me see. Do some quick research. Love the internet.
No, they played on Thursday night against Tampa, and they played
they beat Tampa.
One.
Yeah,
that was a tough one. Okay. Don't get ahead. I asked Jared, what is his takeaways? John, what's your takeaway from the game?
I mean, one, defense. That was amazing. And in the clutch moments, too, we finally freaking brought pressure. Baron Brownie had a huge game.
Oh, gosh.
Jonathan Cooper, I mean.
That Baron Brownie back.
I mean, clutch there. And then offensively, just getting touchdowns instead of field goals was amazing. And 3 different guys that have not been putting up the stat sheets this year. Judy, Sutton's. I mean, he's got 5 or 6 touchdowns at this point.
Yeah, he's got all of his catches. It's funny. All of Sutton's catches, they were showing it too. All of Sutton's catches are just these amazing, crazy wide. Even his touchdowns are just the most ridiculous touchdown catches. He's making great. Judy made a great in that first half. Huge over the middle. High pointed ball. Our wide receivers are playing absolutely amazing. I do want a correction to the for the record. Bye week next week, Monday night against the Bills.
Monday.
So even more time to prepare.
Yeah.
Here's this, okay. My
last thing, David, Spotty, sorry. The commitment to the run game. We finally freaking did it, dude.
Who's gonna take it? Yeah.
That's what we need. I don't know why this is such a surprise.
2 weeks in a row, we've run for about 100. I think we ran for 147 yards last week. Another 150 yards this week. Okay, and time. So that helps us make sure that the defense isn't on the field the whole time. And apparently, when they're not just gassed out trying to catch freaking Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and still trying to catch them to this day, we're a whole lot better. All right, so my takeaways, a little bit of A, a little bit of B, the Broncos run game. Every time we get the ball, Pookie, he's allergic to the ground. Jaleel, every time he sees a hole open up, he's just going for it. All right. If you let him on the outside, I'm telling you, there were like 3 plays. I was like, man, he got beat to the outside and he turned on another gear to get around the corner and end up running for 7-8 freaking yards. I'm like, I don't understand where he got that. And then I'm going to give it to the secondary for the second week in a row. Okay. Travis Kelce had 58 yards receiving. How many?
Defense,
Don't
Taylor
touch.
Swift
Don't
wasn't there.
I don't even care. Okay, I'm telling you. Okay, out of all the games we've ever played against Travis Kelce, okay, in this 12, 16, I don't know how many freaking years he's been on the freaking Chiefs. Okay, that has to be one of the least amount of yards he's had receiving.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, that's like one of the least amount of yards against us, I think, ever that I can think of. I don't know of a different game.
Whatever they just did, whatever they did, let's run that back. Let's keep doing it. I mean, this game plan is very similar to the game plan against Buffalo.
Yeah,
and I was expecting worst. Just gonna take another shot real quick. I was expecting worse is the word I was looking for. Worse weather in Denver. It didn't seem like it was that bad on the field. I thought it was going to be snow. I thought it was going to be inches. It really didn't seem that bad.
No,
I thought that was going to be why we would win this game, like potentially a reason why the Chiefs were not playing well. But I didn't really see it.
Hey, I am going to take it every. I don't have any negatives for this week. You know how like you got a lot of those sports writers that do the winners and the losers of the week. No losers on the Broncos this week. Okay.
Nope.
I would think of some, but
we'll talk about that on Tuesday. Hey, get us some sleep. Get us off this high, and we'll have some on Tuesday. But for sure,
that's right. Over the world right now. Over the world.
To your point about McLaughlin, there was one play in the second half where they ran it up the middle with him, which never seems to work with him because it seems like he's a
Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, exactly. And he bounced it up the middle, then bounced it to the outside. He ran like 13, 15 yards, something like that. And I was like, clearly the defense was expecting something to the outside, and it worked.
There was a couple where he blocked it. He bounced it to the inside. He got to the second level on the inside, got like 8 or 9 yards. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like he just, and to Spotty's point, like he finds a hole and he hits it. Like he doesn't hesitate. There's no wait. He's in there and he gets like 5 yards as soon as he finds a hole. Like this zone run offense is working so well. And like that lightning and thunder we're talking about with McLaughlin and Javonte, like that lightning and thunder is for real. It's still zone offense. Like the offensive line doesn't have to change anything. Zone run. Let's go. Get them in there. One person is going to roll somebody over and get an extra 5 yards. The other person is going to hit a hole so fast that they're not going to hit them. I love it.
Love it. Javonte, first touchdown of the season for him.
Yeah.
And it was a screen pass.
And it was a bubble. We're talking about no negatives. We ran a lot of bubble.
Our screen passes work when they go to the running backs. They don't work when they go to the wide receivers.
Yeah,
but still, they weren't really working out when we were going. They worked out one or two times out of maybe 6 or 5 or 6 that we ran. But that's a Tuesday conversation again.
That's a Tuesday conversation. Let's ride this high. You're right. I'm with you, Spotty.
That was a screenplay. That first TD.
Hey, bro. Hey, look. A blind rat finds food. Sometimes. Okay.
You nailed that quote.
Yeah.
A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, buddy.
Good correction. Oh man, our D gelling. We talk about this. Ayla's gonna be happy. Our D's gelling. Finally.
Ayla.
We're getting better. Like it's just as the season goes on. Like, can we win on this momentum? Like, can we take this the bye week? Can we take this through? Like, I want to believe it. I want to believe it right now. Where we're sitting right now. I want to believe it.
Is the defense performance sustainable? That's what I want to see.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it, 3 weeks in a row now?
Yes, we have.
I mean, that's momentum for sure. And yes, the Packers win was ugly, but it's a win. And This week felt a whole lot different than other wins we've had recently.
I don't know what it is, man. How about this? They choose the time. The defense chooses the time to play the best that they've played against. I don't care what iteration of Broncos defense you want to talk about. That was the best performance against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Juggernaut on offense, no matter who's back there, than we've seen. That is the best defensive performance against the Chiefs we've seen. 9 points. 9.
Yeah.
What was it? 2021? You guys might have already talked about it. 2021 was the last time the Chiefs didn't score a touchdown, and it was against the Titans. Wow. I mean, let's go.
We didn't talk about that. I will say, going back to this, the last time I felt this this much confidence in a defense, again, one game, see if it's sustainable, was that Super Bowl year when we stripped the running back. They were trying to run out the clock, right? At the end of the game, we stripped the running back, ended up getting the ball back and kicking a field goal to win the game.
I believe it was Jamal Charles. He punched out. I believe it was Burton.
Yeah.
What, John?
No touchdowns. And zero points in the second half. 0 points in the second half.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because at halftime it was like, I swear we're up more than 5 points at this point. Like,
they didn't have the ball. They literally never had the ball to go
but they didn't have it in the second half either.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like,
at one point, they're like, the Chiefs had the ball one time, and it was a punt. They're like, we've never seen this before.
They touched the ball. They had one drive in the third quarter.
Well, the floating heads had to think about something else to talk about. Well, Pat Mahomes' hands, his knuckles are blue, guys. He's been sick. Taylor Swift is in here.
There's a lot of factors here why this sucks.
Like they made it sound.
I'm sorry,
like
you're 6-1 team. Can't figure out a way to beat this 2-5 team.
No, I know. I'm like, okay.
All right.
All of these factors are literally looking for something to talk about.
Oh man,
so fucking good!
What a game! Like I'm riding it. Let's go. All right.
So good.
Keith, this is a conversation for Tuesday night. This is not a conversation for the high that we're riding right now.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of conversation here with the don't trade anybody. There's a lot of conversation to be had. Give us some sleep. Give us some time to think about it. Right now,
and Tuesday's the trade dedeadline, isn't it?
It is.
What a day to do a show. What a day to do a show. That's all I'm saying.
I am riding too much of a high to think about all of those scenarios.
These last 2 games changes it for me. I don't know if anyone's leaving.
See, that's the hard part. I think we just gave a couple of people some good auditions to show other teams.
There's a lot of things to unpack here because, oh man,
we will find out very shortly.
And honestly, it really comes down to, I'll say this before we move on to the next subject. It all depends on how Sean Payton feels about his team.
Oh, this is not technically his team.
Well, he had a whole off season. He's gotten rid of plenty of people.
Yeah, I'm just saying the people that are currently in place in certain places were not put there by this Payton.
Right. Are you talking about Russell Wilson? Is that who you're talking about? Because we're not.
But
if we could trade, I'm sure he would.
There's others.
Rid of his contract.
Going anywhere is very slim to none.
Right.
We'll talk about. I'll say this: you know who we haven't seen in like 4 weeks? Mims.
Yeah, I know.
He had that one punt return. I was like, this guy's electric. Like, why is this guy not getting the fucking ball?
Yeah. Because then I believe his only target in this game was a wide receiver bubble screen.
Yeah.
So the last
couple of games,
his only targets have been wide receiver bubble screens, nothing downfield.
That's crazy. And Judy, I mean, props to Judy though for getting that one long pass in the first half.
Right.
I was like, I bet that's Mims, and it turned out to be Judy. I was like, oh
yeah,
yeah.
Legitimately, like the big in the first half. Are you talking about the first half where he just like high pointed the ball? Is that one or in the second half?
No, I thought it was the first half. He had like a 40-yard reception. I think it set up the Javonte Williams touchdown.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I thought as soon as Russ like cocked it back, I was like going deep for Mims. Let's go.
I had the same thought.
Yeah, and even in the first half, there was before he fumbled the ball, he was cocking back to throw deep, and I want to go back to the tape and see who he was trying to get. I'm interested to see who he was trying to target on that.
Yeah. They never showed
yeah, defensive line stepping up in key moments.
The run game. Where was the Chiefs' run game? Non-existent.
Yeah, I don't even think they tried.
To run the ball.
They did. It was very early on, and I think that they got away from trying to run the football early, real quick, which is unlike them.
Right.
Yeah. 38 pass attempts, 16 rush attempts.
What was Russ's final numbers? Because he only had like 100 yards passing, wasn't it?
114. So this is what we were talking about before we got on, Dave. John, like me and Dave were talking about it. Like, if I were to tell you Russell Wilson went 12 for 19 for 114 yards, are you saying we win that game like by 2 scores?
Nope.
I mean, if you look at the stats at the end of the day between the two teams, it's very even. It's like it's basically what we talked about every other week.
I was saying that they beat us in all this, like almost all the stats.
Yeah, but they were still pretty close, wasn't it?
Well, let's see. First down, 18-19 for us. Total plays. We had a lot more total plays. We had a lot more time possession.
Time of possession
33 minutes. 33 minutes time possession.
Well, what I'm gonna say here, Jared, is settling for field goals versus getting the touchdown, which I mentioned 100%. Earlier. Like
total yards, 275 for them, 240 for us. They beat us by almost like 35 yards. Total drives, 11. We both had 11 drives.
Which doesn't.
They had 4.8 yards per play to our 3.7.
That's a big difference right there.
213 yards in the air to our. This says 87, but he threw for 114, which is confusing. 153 yards rushing to their 62. They only rushed for 62 yards. Again, they only rushed 16 times. We rushed 40 times.
Yeah.
But here's the big one: red zones 0 for 3.
Yeah.
For the Kansas City Chiefs, we were 3 for 5
of the day. That might be the most defining stat of the day outside of the 5 turnovers.
Right.
And even penalties, like you could talk about it.
That's a pretty critical one, but let's not overlook that a little bit.
Okay, they had 38 yards in penalties. We had 35. So even penalty yards.
Wait, we only had 35 penalty yards?
We had six penalties for 35 yards. They had 5 penalties for 38.
Somebody give the Broncos a trophy. When's the last time we had less than 8 yards in freaking penalty yards? We're the most penalized team in the league.
You know, Spotty, I'll take a shot to that one as well.
Yeah, buddy.
Here's where it came down to turnovers, 5-1.
Yeah, what was our turnover? I'm trying to remember.
Russell fumbled
at the end of this first half.
Which he didn't stand a chance. That guy was coming off screaming off the edge.
Yeah, our pass. We're
happy.
We're happy. We're happy.
We're riding highs, John. We're riding highs.
Okay, can we talk about McMillan, Foster Moreau? Like these guys. Who are these guys?
Yeah.
That's doing Foster Moreau. I learned his name last week, and then
dude, I'm learning McMillan.
This week, we both looked it up. We were like, this is McMillan? He had 2 huge plays in the first half. Obviously, the pick, which was an amazing pick. Amazing, clean, jumped ahead of it, dove for it.
Oh my God.
And then he had a huge pass breakup on a 3rd and medium. Yeah. Huge pass breakup. I was like, who is this guy? Undrafted guy out of, what'd you say, NC State? Something like that?
Yeah.
McMillan?
Yeah.
It's good shit.
I am 1,000% just absolutely blown away.
Also, if DraftKings could let me bet on Justin Simmons getting an interception against Patrick Mahomes, I would take that every fucking game. And it's always the plays where it's like it's a throwaway play. It's like 4th and long, or like it's just like someone's probably going to intercept, or it's going to be an incomplete pass. Who else? Justin Simmons.
I will be honest. I was kind of mad he picked it off because it was a 4th down. It was a 4th down play, and they had the ball in their own 20.
Hey.
The game was pretty. That interception was the end of the game, anyways.
Yeah.
Basically,
listen,
I love it. I love the fact that he intercepted it. Strategically, I hear what you're saying, Jared.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I'll take it all day. All day.
I don't know if they can ride. Like, that's a huge momentum. We already talked about it, but I'm just going to go back to it. It's a huge momentum win for the second half of the season for the Broncos. Like, I was sitting here before the Jets game thinking, okay, we have one win. If we go into the bye 3-5, what does that look like? It's probably against the Jets and maybe the Packers. The fact that we lost to the Jets, and then now it's the Packers and Chiefs back to back. It's a totally different feeling than I was expecting to be 3-5 at this point.
I'm so happy. Like it's. I mean, I'm 100% after the Dolphins win. I looked at it and was just like, this is not the year that we're going to beat the Chiefs.
I mean, what are your thoughts on Vance Joseph since that game?
My thoughts on Vance Joseph have not changed.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Nothing. We're talking about how good this defense is.
Are we just going to be like, oh, it's fine. They got healthy. Vance Joseph's in the clear now.
I mean, we got rid of some people, right? That clearly.
Dude, I mean, they weren't doing anything. Okay, Frank Clark, and they still haven't done anything. Okay, and getting Baron Browning back really helps.
Oh, that was huge.
Are you telling me he made one adjustment and that's what changed the last 3 weeks?
No,
Why didn't he make that?
I was thinking about it. I have no idea.
4 weeks ago.
I have no idea what has happened. What turned the defense around in these last 3 games? I
actually don't know what.
I have no idea what's happening.
There's a lot of things at play here. Is it the understanding of the defense? Is it the defensive players finally understanding what Vance is supposed to do?
They did say that they simplified the defense, right?
Is it a simplification? I don't know. It did. Because it doesn't look like it.
I can't remember who said that, but yeah, they simplified.
I don't think they did.
Not the actual plays themselves, but the calling itself. Like maybe. The play call. I don't know.
Maybe to get people to understand where they were. There in the first half of the season, we talked about it. Like there was blown coverage.
Yeah.
Like really, like again, specifically against like I bring it back to that first Tyreek Hill touchdown. Again, like the touchdown that changed the momentum of that game was a complete blown coverage where the safety came up, the linebacker didn't pop back, and there was somebody should have been there and nobody was, which is fine. But that didn't happen this week. Like we had a couple plays where Patrick Mahomes had a lot of time and he found somebody open, and there was I forget who it was. I don't know if it's PJ Locke or someone had like a hand up. It was just a little bit short, which is fine. But is it that, or is it that the defensive players are finally starting to get the system and understand what they're going to do?
It could be that.
But we'll see what happens in the next couple of games. That's the real point of it. Like, what is it? Is it that the players are like, hey, I know what Vance Joseph wants to do now? Like, it took us a minute to figure out like his whole scheme and how this wants to work, but now we got it.
Was it that Justin Simmons is back and he's the real play caller out there?
Hey, Justin Simmons was back for 2 weeks.
Look. Hey, Andrew, that's right, man. Simmons came back.
Simmons has been a game changer since he's been back. That cannot be denied at all.
I'll give Vance Joseph his props if he can do it against the Bills.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's it. That was my next question, Spotty. Is that the test? Is that when he deserves credit?
I will speak his name without disgust if he can do it against the Bills.
Well, and the other thing is after that Miami game.
And so apparently my mom wants to say something.
Yeah!
Oh, let's go.
She said she wanted to make a statement. She said she wanted to come on the show and say something.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, a lot of people were and frankly still are calling for Vance Joseph's head. He can't be calling for it in these last 3 games, in my opinion. And, again, we'll see where it goes from here, but gotta give a little bit of props to Sean Payton for kind of writing it out and being like, no, this is the decision I made. I have a there's a reason I brought this guy in. So we're going to ride this out for a bit. I mean, this could have been the week, right? If this game goes a different direction, this could have been the week where we make a change and fire Vance Joseph. And now there's like,
There's no question now.
It would look very weird if he lost his job tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you this. You're talking about a lot of stuff about Sean Payton, but I'm still not sold on Sean Payton because this man's supposed to be an offensive genius, and we haven't been that.
I agree, but we are making strides, I would say.
Hey, so this is a point too, where Andrew, Kareem Jackson out this game. We talk about physicality. You said it earlier, physicality on defense, best all year. Our best physical player is Kareem Jackson. I'm on the opposite side. Are we playing for Kareem, or is the fact that Kareem's not in there that they're playing as a team?
Man,
like there's
I
a lot
don't know what to think of that. Because PJ Locke had a game.
PJ Locke had a great game.
He had an interception last week that sealed the game. And
it gave opportunities for guys like McMillan, who are coming in and playing. And it gave opportunities to guys that maybe weren't there originally, and we're playing guys like Kareem Jackson, who I love, physical hitter, great.
Yeah, but you know what? The other thing we don't talk about it. Kareem actually leads the team in interceptions. I will give him his due for that. He also leads our team in probably penalties.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, considering we only had 35 yards of penalties this game.
That's right. So maybe what the true difference is the fact that we didn't. I mean, as a matter of fact, there weren't too many defensive penalties out of those 6. There might have been
one huge one early on that was like, here we go, fucking again. Like that gave him a first down when it was like 3rd and long. It was like 3rd and 12, incomplete pass. And it was like a holding call. And I was like, motherfucker, here we go again. But yeah, they turned it around after that.
I can't pinpoint a single thing. I can't, like, from the difference between, say, the Dolphins game or even the Jets game. Besides the fact that maybe, I guess even because Pacheco still ran for a lot of yards in that first Kansas City game, but the Packers didn't run for a lot of yards, and then they didn't run for a lot of yards in this game. So
the last one that owned us was Breece Hall, which I know your thoughts about that, Spotty.
Well, I think Andrew Jones had over 100 yards.
No,
what's that?
Aaron,
not No,
they might have had like 30 yards apiece between AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones.
I think AJ Dillon might have outrushed him in that game. I could be totally misremembering that.
Well, AJ Dillon had that. He was their leading receiver in that Green Bay game. He had like 38 yards.
Man, the Packers were ugly in that.
Dude, I mean, but maybe it's
because ugly this week too. I don't know.
No, you're right. AJ Dillon had 15 carries for 61 yards. Jones only had 8 carries for 35. So they had 137 yards total on the ground. But 21 of them coming from Jordan Love on the rushes.
I was thinking maybe it's just a surprise. Maybe they got taken by. They're like, everybody says that the Broncos defense is booty, so maybe it all of a sudden changed.
But what changed, Spotty?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch all of the games over. I'm gonna need to read a lot of articles by much smarter people than me.
You're right. I'd love to know the answer to that question, because I was thinking about that at the end of the game. It's like I don't know what has happened to this team. I'll
tell you what. Like here's what I saw, and just again riding the high of the wind. They were playing harder. Like they were going for balls. They were diving for them. They were hitting people harder. And it's funny, in the first half, I was mad. I was testing my brother-in-law, like, why can't we wrap up a player? Like Pacheco had one run, I think, for like 20 yards, where he got hit 6 times. Yeah. And he was just bouncing off the dude. Like, why can't we hit the guy and wrap him up and take him down? We had him at like the line of scrimmage. He ends up running for 20 yards. Again, obviously, later on in the game, it worked out well for us, but like, they're just
changed. That might have been, I don't think we missed any tackles after that.
Yeah, after that, no.
Tackling was an issue. I mean, defense in general just wasn't the issue. How many times did Patrick Mahomes frustrate you on plays where it's like, he should be sacked? He should be sacked. He should be sacked. Why isn't he sacked? Oh, wow. And he just
and then he throws down to 10, 15 yards for a first freaking down.
Yeah, and
he doesn't know where the wide receiver is.
Yeah, he turned around. He might as well have just thrown it blind, and the guy was wide open. Like,
I got nothing.
It doesn't matter.
Is it Baron Browning? Is it the threat of Baron Browning coming in? Is it the Justin Simmons over the top that they want to go deep? Like I mean, like there's so many things that like I don't know, because all like pieces together, like separately, it was fine.
It goes back to Travis Kelce. Normally that's his guy in those situations, and I don't know what it was today, but for the connection with Kelsey was not there today.
Maybe he gave him the flu. Pat gave Travis Kelce the flu too, so they be kissing each other all the time.
Do they kiss each other? I haven't seen it.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You think it's like you think Taylor's in there too? And
oh yeah, 100%. They're like, oh, the sports analysis people are going to be talking about this next week. But John, this is what I brought up, dude. It's
a theory.
We're still missing K1.
That's a good point. But the guys we already talked about, I think McMillan's are playing in the slot right now.
Man. No, we pulled Damari Mathis.
I know we pulled Damari Mathis. I think that might be the change we made.
That's been a difference. Damari Mathis isn't playing out on the other side.
Is he just a healthy scratch these days?
I
had the same question last week. I don't remember. He wasn't in that, or he was in the Packers game, but I didn't see him on the field.
Jared, does Pro Football Focus tell you? Damari Mathis.
Ooh.
I don't know where he's gone, but I don't think he's been a healthy scratch, and I haven't seen him on the field.
I don't think he's been eligible. Isn't he still on the IR? I don't think we ever pulled him off the IR.
Damari Mathis?
Damari? Was he on the IR? Is that what had that difference?
Am I thinking of somebody else? Who am I thinking of? Oh, no, I'm thinking of the corner. Who's the...
You're thinking about Kwan Williams, but...
I'm thinking of Kwan Williams.
But like Damari Mathis was being toasted.
Did not play well the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's not. But that's something that we talked about in the preseason. That's something we talked about in the preseason. You needed a good season from Damari Mathis at that time, who was the starting corner outside of Pat. But of course, you're always going to get attacked. If this kid Nate McMillan, I'll tell you what, I'm fine with giving up yards, but you need to be aggressive. You need to be like, people are going to think this is stupid. Trevon Diggs or Peters, like they're always on the other side of actual shutdown corners. And they get toasted, but then they pick the ball off. So you have to be aggressive in picking the ball off.
Yeah, when you're opposite of Pat Surtain, you're going to get thrown at, like you said, Spotty. Like, it's just going to happen. So you have to be at least adequate, if not also a high-level cornerback. Otherwise, it gives them a reason to throw back to Pat's side if you can.
So I'll tell you what, Damari Mathis had 0 stats against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think he had 0 stats last week against the Packers as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if they've just been benching him.
That might be
fifth string, like
gone unnoticed.
He got torched in a few of these games early on, so I'm not surprised. But I'm just excited for the guys that have stepped up, above him, McMillan. And last week it was Foster. I saw Foster Moreau, I think, once or twice today. Last week though, he got called out.
Locke.
And PJ Locke coming back from his injury. Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's another one.
Good for him.
Who knows?
Hey, so the official site has Fabian Moreau as our starting corner over Mathis,
and so that means that McMillan's in the slot.
I think he is. Man, now it's easy when you're going up against this Chiefs wide receiver unit.
John, They were 6-1 with this wide receiver unit.
Hey, I'm not taking anything away from this win.
6-1.
I think that speaks to Mahomes.
Legit.
That speaks to Mahomes, Kelsey, the way they've used Pacheco this year. Like, they figured out ways to win. Not today. They didn't.
Yeah, but they still beat what most people will consider better teams than us for those 6 games.
Now, but my point to that, David Spotty, was against this Bills team. I mean, you're coming up against Gabe Davis. Obviously, Stephon Diggs, you'd imagine. I don't think we do a shadow game where Pat Surtain's always going to be on him, but
we don't do it.
They have much better wide receivers, so it'll be interesting in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they don't have as good of an offensive line. And no offense to Josh Allen, but he likes to hold on to the freaking football.
Yeah, okay.
And not in a way where he's going to run around and do 360s and throw it between his legs with his left hand.
Yeah, you don't see that from Josh Allen.
No. But he will, and here's our problem: is our defensive line ready to do that?
Or I don't know. That's the thing. Like I'm not confident.
Interior, I'm not worried about that. Like Jonathan Cooper and Browning, I think they're going to be able to get to him once in every 4 plays. It's our interior defensive line. Are we going to be able to get the pressure up the middle?
Zach Allen
be able to make him
better.
He has been playing better.
Zach Allen.
We talk shit about him. He has been playing better.
We will though. I Damari Mathis bench for Fabian Moreau. I not a huge.
Who's Fabian Moreau? Where's Fabian Moreau?
Did we get him from the Raiders? Did he get cut from the Raiders?
See,
no, he came from the Saints.
I think you're thinking of Traquan Smith.
No, the Traquan Diggs.
What?
No, Traquan Smith. You're right. The wide receiver. He still hasn't played with us.
No, that's wide receiver. No, there's another Smith that we got from the Saints, isn't it? That plays.
No, we picked him up.
Little Jordan Humphrey.
Little Jordan.
Little Jordan.
That you think I'm kidding?
I know that's his name. What a name.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I don't know who Fabian Moreau. I know who you're talking about, Spotty, and it was the Raiders, but I don't think it's the same guy.
There is a guy who. Oh no, I'm thinking about the tight end for the Saints who missed that touchdown. I'm pretty sure that guy's last name is Moreau too.
Right. I don't know. I just want to know where this Fabian Moreau came from.
I don't know. I didn't even know McMillan, and I called him Nate McMillan, but that's a basketball player who used to play for the Indiana Pacers. So I have no idea where he came from either.
No, we got him from the Giants.
Okay. We're just taking cast-offs to start.
Yeah. I don't know when. I'm trying to find out when we got him from the Giants, but he was at the Giants.
I mean, he must have been a practice squad type of player, you know. I don't know when we got. Was he in training camp? It's like these two guys are. I do kind of remember McMillan in training camp and being like, who? And then Moreau, I don't even remember his name in training camp.
Must have been during the offseason.
I take that back. I think we did have him in training camp, but it's like these guys. I was like, oh, they're not going to make the team, and here we are, week 8.
Whatever. So, hey, keep playing like you're playing. That's all I can ask for them.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I love it. They stepping up. Jared, you'll find it.
Yeah, no, I found it. We signed him in the offseason from the Giants.
Yeah.
And then he hasn't had his first snap until the Packers came.
Yeah.
Yeah. where he replaced Damari Mathis.
I'm all right. Know. Well, Fabian
is that
Moreau,
the difference?
Hey, cheers to you, Fabian Moreau, because apparently, sir, you have been the difference. Okay, and McMillan today, 2 guys. So what? That's actually maybe Kawan Williams coming back is going to throw everything for a loop.
I mean, it can't hurt to have more guys in that cornerback room.
That's true.
I mean,
especially in this league.
Yeah. Yes. Especially in this league.
And because the Bills and the Vikings they throw it through the air. I mean, the Vikings still haven't scored a rushing touchdown this year.
Yeah, and I think Justin Jefferson, that'll be his first game back. Eligible.
Oh, we need all the help we can get.
If he's healthy. I mean,
there's that kid Jordan Addison too, but
he's good too.
Whatever. I know that's a looking into
like 3 weeks ahead, 4 weeks ahead.
Dude, I know. We still got to buy. There's a hard decision that's going to be made on Tuesday.
Yeah. We're going to learn a lot in the next 48 hours.
Even if Justin Jefferson comes back, who's throwing to him?
That's a good point. But I mean, it's Justin.
Okay, so Jared, you're going to find there's very rare times where someone comes on the field and I'm like, who the F is that? The Vikings quarterback, I have zero idea who that guy was when he came on the field. His name was Jared Allen or something like that. And I was like, you mean like the pass rusher who used to do mullets? I don't
Oh man,
Jared Allen.
There's lots to talk about on Tuesday. But hey, guys, I'm riding on this win.
Yes.
Jaron Hall? Jaron Hall, is that?
There it is. Yeah, Jaron Hall.
I've never heard that guy's name.
Never heard of him.
Dude. He played at BYU, obviously.
2 guys. There's also
obviously.
There was a guy who ended up playing for the Giants today. His name was Tommy DeVito. I was like, Danny's brother?
And he got a touchdown.
Yeah, he did. Hey,
all right. So Jaron Hall, 5th round pick in this year's draft out of BYU. So yeah,
there's no chance.
That's a big drop off right there.
Starting quarterback in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I hope so.
I mean, as a fan, I'm okay with it. Austin Eckler just scored a touchdown.
Oh, is the night game on already? Man,
Yep.
I can't believe. Jeez.
It's fine. I was excited. I threw in some bets while we were on here. So,
yeah. Well, I threw bets on the money line for Broncos, and I got it.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Jared!
Way to go,
It looks
Jared.
like you got to do it for the rest of the year. Also, I'm not going to say that I did, but last Tuesday I did say the Broncos were going to win.
Nice.
I wasn't on that show, so it doesn't count.
Hey,
guys.
I love you so much. Loving this win, riding high on it. Thank you guys for joining us. For those of you guys who are watching, join us on the Tuesday night Bourbon Broncos No BS.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be
it's gonna be great.
Watch the post game show tomorrow. That'll be live. The post game podcast will be live on YouTube tomorrow.
What time's that at, John?
8:00.
8:00 Mountain Time.
Mountain Time. Spot, are you joining?
We'll see.
Depends on what the gym situation looks
how
like.
tired he is.
Yeah, 100%. Always leaving the gym, right, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Perpetually leaving the gym.
Yeah.
Oh man, love you guys.
All right,
see
y'all.
you guys. I was not expecting to jump on here with you.
Hey,
loved it.
As always, though,
Very strong.
go Broncos!
Broncos.
Let's go!
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.